This video is sponsored by Protect America, a leader in home security systems. We have arranged for you to receive a free indoor camera and doorbell camera when you take advantage of their services. Keep your family safe and check out their website using the special link on the screen or in the description box.
Hey guys, this is the Max Impact Theory. This is the last installment of our 3-part series, Don't Prime Me, so enjoy. I think it's taken a little too far, but
Yeah. Now tell me
I
something.
see where you're going.
Well, tell me something. When you go into class and you put on your uniform, and now all of a sudden everybody's calling you sensei, do you feel different?
When I put my full gi on versus our summer uniform,
Yeah.
then yeah.
That's why.
Now when I put my summer uniform on, I don't feel that way. I used to feel that way with my belt,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess I got kind of used to that. But whenever I put a full gi on, even if it's, just that's all we're wearing for that, season, I do feel that.
Yeah. I know I
I know I look good in it, so.
well, if you look good, you feel good, right?
Yep.
Lower
Lower blood pressure.
Billy Crystal. But when I put the uniform on, I think I do feel like something when you put the uniform on. I over the years, since I'm always striving to be like that kind of sensei outside, and I'm always trying to self-improve, that I feel like now I almost keep that feeling even when I don't have the uniform on, because I'm always thinking, the way I'm thinking, I'm always thinking like a black belt, and I think that helps me retain that feeling of being, still young and vibrant and
Yeah.
all those kind of qualities that you would perceive as being a karate sensei.
I'll give it 30 more years, and then we'll see.
And then we'll test. Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. He's priming me again for age.
I said 30 years, all right?
Hey, man, I'm going to
That's a
outlive you.
30 years. That means Elijah will be 30.
Yep. That's
You
true.
trying to tell me you're not going to feel old then?
Hey,
I'll
don't,
feel
don't
old.
do that.
I'll
Don't do
feel old when my kid's 30. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
But I don't know. A lot of times I've thought this in my past, is that a lot of times I feel like when I see people that are my age and everything, I always felt like young, and I really think that's a lot to do with karate, and what it's done for me in my life is actually made me more vibrant of an individual and healthier, and I just feel young. I don't know if I look young, that's up to nature, I guess, a little bit, but at least I feel young.
Yeah.
So
But does it really matter if you look young as long as you feel young and you feel healthy?
Exactly. Well, I bring that up a lot to people when they're working out. A lot of people, when they're working out, they worry too much about the way they look, and I always try to, especially in our kickboxing, think about the way you feel.
Yeah,
Because
performance.
If you feel younger and healthier, and I guess Ellen Langer is saying that this is a really good way of thinking about it. If you feel healthier and younger, that's actually going to make you become healthier and younger.
Yeah.
Through the kickboxing. So I think I'm going to push that point with people, because people get too focused on the weight, on the scale, when they should be really focusing on how they feel. Do I feel stronger? Do I feel younger? Can I get around better? And if you focus on those qualities, I think that's going to make you, a better individual. And it's, in the end, it is going to give you the results that you want.
Yeah. How do you think, what do you think we can do in just, everyday lives to have a mindset of being younger and healthier?
Well, I think a lot of the thing is the scripting, that you gotta call yourself out on your scripting a lot.
Yeah.
Don't
prime yourself.
Yeah. Don't prime yourself. I mean, let other people do it, and then call them out when they start trying to make you old. But I think a lot of our scripting is, again, you put on glasses and then you automatically assume my eyesight is getting worse. Maybe start thinking to yourself, well, I'm wearing these glasses now, but my eyesight's getting better.
Yeah.
Or well, maybe you can't do some of the things you did in the past, but try to focus on the things that you can do now. Or maybe go out. A lot of even learning a new skill. I bet learning a new skill makes you feel younger. You go out and learn a language. A lot of people will say to themselves, well, it's kind of like an old dog can't learn new tricks. Oh, I can't learn that new language because I'm getting too old for that. Or I can't do some activity. Say, I don't know, what's a good activity we could select? Learn a new activity. Maybe you go out and say, oh, yeah, I want to learn how to play tennis.
Yeah.
Now, if your expectation is to become, the next pro, then you're gonna make yourself feel bad. But maybe you can go out there and play, and that makes you feel younger because you're actually out there doing something.
Yeah.
But I would be really careful in the way you think. Like the whole idea of saying, hey, I'm 48 years young instead of 48 years old is probably a really important thing.
What do you think about, like, in the realm of just being sick? You know what I mean? Like, just not feeling well and,
Oh, not feeling well?
like, every day, like, not feeling well.
I love this one saying. I had a guy I used to work with. His name was Steve Work. And he used to always say, it's all in your head. And that was his base point for, if you felt sick or anything, just, I'll have a headache or I'm sick. It's all in your head. Because you might be sick, but if you automatically assume that little ache and pain or thought in your head is you are sick, you're going to be sick.
Or just don't think about it being serious or getting worse or going to be there forever. Like, oh, it'll go away in a minute.
He used to say he had the belief that 80% of illness was head illness in your head, not in your physical body. But as soon as you make it in your head, all of a sudden it becomes in your body.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I try to fight against the idea of being sick. Like I'm like, oh, instead of saying, oh, I got a headache or I'm coming down with something, you say, man, I got a headache. I got to shake it off.
Yeah.
Or
I think we could also do the chambermaid study, every day. Along those lines where, like, you find things in your life, like, most people, I think, are, just don't feel as healthy as they could be.
Yeah.
Like, they either eat too much or don't eat well enough, or they don't get enough exercise because of their job. So maybe if we just think about, okay, every single thing we do, like, just go through, through your day thinking, like, all right, is this like a workout? Is this like a workout? You know what I mean? Even like she said, them pulling back sheets is like rowing.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not actually like rowing because it's not as, much it's not as much resistance, but it still worked.
Yeah.
So even if it's something like, lifting up a stack of papers off the desk or something like that, like, just try to think about that as, like, okay, you are technically using muscles and you know what I mean? So you are working out that muscle. So it is technically a workout. And if you just have that mindset, it doesn't hurt you to have that mindset. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if it does.
Yeah. Well, how about how much, say you're at home and doing gardening or lawn work or mowing your lawn, a lot of people will, in their mind, automatically be like, oh, I'm doing weeding the garden, I'm doing work. Maybe you should think about it like, oh, wow, look, I'm actually exercising right now. I'm getting my exercise in for today. And kind of really, when you're mowing the lawn, you're like, oh, get your pedometer on and see how many miles you actually walk when you're mowing your lawn and say, hey, I just did a 2-mile walk.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking of it as some kind of event that's you're doing some kind of toil or, like, oh, man, I got to mow the lawn,
Now, I know there's some controversy around the Fitbit craze and stuff like that, where, like, people are trying to compete against their friends for the most steps, and it's making people, like, it's not the best for people. Yeah, like almost like an anxiety that they're not doing enough. But I also think that it can be great for people, like, hey, I really don't want to mow the lawn. Oh, wait, I need to get some steps in today, so maybe I'll mow the lawn and see how many steps I can get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that'll help. I think that helps in some aspect. But I remember when I was a teenager in high school, I would work for my uncle, and he was in construction. And I know you said you used to do this too, where
Yeah.
there was the big heavy things that nobody wanted to carry, and I'd volunteer because I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna get stronger. Then soon this isn't gonna be a problem for me to carry around anymore.
Or when you're getting tired, you start saying, "Oh, I'm gonna push myself."
Yeah,
Like I remember working for my uncle, and I was doing like we'd have to do mulch, and nobody wanted to do the mulch, but I liked doing the mulch because I'd be like, okay, so I'm just gonna act like it's exercise. So you're shoveling, you're out there shoveling the mulch, and I'm like bending my legs like I'm kind of like doing a squat for each thing and
Yeah.
each shovel, and then I'm pushing it, and you're getting a little cardio, and you're starting to breathe a little heavy. And you go, no, I'm not gonna take a break. You just keep going.
yeah,
That's what I used to do when I was younger. To and maybe that's the way you should always kind of think about it. Like, oh, don't think of it as like, oh, I'm working so hard, I'm getting tired. Think of it as, hey, I'm getting tired, so I'm going to push myself even harder. And I think that will help you get exercise out of
yeah.
it.
Not only is it good a mindset and it doesn't hurt anything,
Yeah.
it also probably helped the time go faster.
Yeah.
Because I used to count, like when I was doing mulch, I used to be like, all right, I'm going to count to 20, and I'm going to see how many scoops I can get in 20, or like how high I can get it up the wheelbarrow in 20 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, just make it into an exercise.
And then I'd be like, all right, I'm pushing this thing all the way down there. Let's see how fast I can get it down there without spilling it. You know what I mean? Never
Yeah.
spilled, but got close a couple times.
One thing I was telling you this too is, say you were talking about mowing lawn. I've been kind of thinking about this a lot since reading this counterclockwise study and reading this book. For example, I'm just going to use mowing as an example. Most of us have these self-propelled mowers.
Yeah.
And I just had this idea, like, let's say I want to get old man strength. So
You've been talking about that recently.
Yeah, like, and the way you do that is, like, now we have everything is, power tools and, help, like the mower helps you, is self-propelling, right? So I turned the self-propelling off of my mower, and I've actually started just pushing the mower with my own physical force. Now the mowing takes me just as long, but I know that I'm putting a lot more effort, like exercise, into it, and I'm willingly doing that because I think that in the end, not trying to not avoid that extra output of work is actually going to be helpful in the end. Think about power. Like as soon as I used to hate, like when you do screwing, I would always get like one of those drills with the screw gun on it,
Okay.
and use it. So I've been, ever since reading this book, I've started to use a regular screwdriver a little bit more to help
those
my
wrists
grip
strong.
strength. Yeah, help your grip strength and just anything that I can do kind of a little bit more manually, I'm trying to do.
Yeah. Well, they talk about how like every generation, our grip strength gets weaker and weaker.
Yeah.
And it's probably just to the point of just convenience tools.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we don't wash our clothes by hand. I've washed my clothes by hand when I was in Africa, and that it was rough
Workout.
it was rough on your hands.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't saw manually. We don't screw screws in manually. Most the construction, because I used to work in flooring, we don't even nail things in manually anymore.
Yeah.
Like we don't usually use hammers. We use nail guns.
Yeah.
Because it's faster.
It's faster, yeah.
And it's easier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can get things done faster. It's not because we don't want to. It's because, when you got a job to do, you got to do it as fast as you can because you make more money that way.
Yeah, but if you're at home, maybe instead of avoiding the discomfort of doing something a little bit more manually, maybe you should try to kind of go for that.
Instead of switching out the light switch plates and the outlet plates with a screw gun, then do it by hand. I remember doing that a couple times. Like, I'll just get stronger. It was really out of laziness. I didn't feel like going downstairs to get the the screw gun because I know it would get 10 times faster.
And it takes longer. You have to, it takes long. Well, when I made your bar for you, I made a bar as for Justin and
It's a
my
nice
daughter.
bar.
Yeah.
Herring top.
And I made it
Herringbone
for
top
him
and
as a
everything.
housewarming gift, and with pallet wood and everything standard. But I didn't have a nail gun, so I nailed all the nails in that. And I remember hitting those nails and thinking, man, this is pretty tiring. I wish I had a nail gun. So I finally got it myself a nail gun. Now I'm like saying, hey, maybe it was good that I nailed all those nails in.
Yeah. You definitely got stronger, and got neural pathways too.
Yeah.
That connected, so you're smarter now.
Yeah. I have to say, though, I've always been terrible at nailing with a hammer.
Yeah.
But, that doesn't mean that
Just
it's not
means you're
helpful.
out of practice.
Yeah, I just need to practice it more. Well, I think do you have anything else to add to this episode? I think this was
just really
great
try to
conversation.
watch your mindset. Remember the definition that we talked about in the beginning. The mindset definition is established set of attitudes held by somebody, right?
Yeah.
So we need to have the attitude of that we set.
Yeah.
We set the attitude, whether it's doom and gloom or positive thinking.
Yeah.
That we're having a set mindset of this is positive. This is what I'm gonna think about this situation, instead of like, oh, I don't really feel like mowing the lawn. No, it's gonna you're getting healthier. You're staying healthy with it.
Yeah. So my closer, I guess I'll say, is the idea of, you said mindset. Really think of mindfulness. In other words, try to really pay attention to what you're doing and what you're thinking.
Yeah.
The more you pay attention to what you do and what you think, the better able you are to, change your thoughts. I think this week sometime on my YouTube channel too, I'm going to give some, we'll do a video or something on some of my tips for gaining a little bit more mindfulness. I have some good exercises. I have like 3 exercises that I think I'm going to throw up on my YouTube channel in the next week on how to improve your mindfulness.
Yeah, I think you're happier when you really pay attention to your mindfulness too, because like I said in the beginning, the definition, seeing new things in an old routine.
Yeah.
Especially us as karate teachers, we can definitely see new things in the same old basics that we've been teaching for years.
Yeah. And I mean, think about it. You just have a new kid, and do you really want to see him grow up, or do you want to just be in your own head thinking about him growing up?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you much rather enjoy the time and be present and there with him than thinking about, I mean, like, we can raise kids. We can
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got those milestones. Like, I can't wait till he sleeps long enough for me to actually get some decent sleep. And, like, I can't wait till he can play with toys and stuff like that.
But that's what I'm saying. You're thinking.
Yeah. I've been trying to be in the mindset of, all right, let's not just enjoy the moment. But it's kind of hard when you're.
Yeah. Exactly.
I want to sleep. Just sleep through the night, please.
Well, if it wasn't hard, it wouldn't be worth doing.
That's true.
But I think that.
And he's indebted to me for a while then too, right?
Well, I
found out how indebted I am to my parents after having a kid.
Oh, I can't tell you how many times raising our kids, I apologized to my parents. I was like, I'm so sorry. I realize now that I must have been doing this to you, and I apologize for it now because I understand.
You didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Or maybe they did because they probably put their parents through the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just the vicious cycle of life.
Yep. All right. Well, guys, we're going to end the podcast episode right here. Don't forget, if you want to give us your input on this episode or any other episode, make sure that you email us at thetheory@maximpactkarate.com, or you can leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe to us where you listen to podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, or iTunes. Shortly, we will be getting these up on our Facebook business page, probably starting with this episode.
Yeah,
All
we do
right.
have a link on Instagram as well.
All right, guys. Well, keep doing what you're doing and stay strong, and we'll see you in the next episode.